This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on? I'm trying the little ticker. I don't think it really works. I'm not sure if this ticker is supposed to work, but these are all people I don't really know. Well, there's Gwendolyn B on there, but I don't know if she's been here for a long time. So we'll have to see if that actually works. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All right. Man, how's everybody doing? Just have one cookie. Are you trying to do like the FBI guy who just kept trying to get Nick Houck to give him something by asking the same question or saying the same thing 100,000 times? Yeah. Yeah, you made it. Is that hard for you, or? Yeah. All right. Hey, Jen H. And thanks for the pre-show wave by Zozo, Tina Susser, Cheyenne R, Zozo, Voggle Queen, Lane S, and Linda Howell, as in Linda Bolden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Yeah. I mean, there was an interesting... Let me ask you guys something. So, I mean, there's a post in the GHI, The Missing Network, that talks about... It sounds on the surface like it's, you know, an interesting idea to let's say you're hiking and then somebody says like you're lost, or let's say you're even in trouble, and what you do is you change your voice message to the last known place that you were, and then when your phone dies, people, when they call your phone, know at least where you were recently. But the thing is one of the issues, I would think, is that I don't know how it works when you change your voice message. Is that out there on the cell phone server or literally resides on your phone? Either way, I would think that you would have to have service to be able to change your phone number. So if you're in the middle of the woods somewhere, it wouldn't really do you any good, because to change your voice message, you probably would have to call and make a phone call to wherever that resides, or if it was on your phone, there's no service for a caller to get that message that you changed to. Yeah, so you have to have service to change your message. So that's one thing I would look at it like, well, maybe it makes it hard. How would you change your message, for example, in the middle of the woods when there's no cell phone service and you don't have a connection to a phone line, like a cell tower or something like that? But I like the concept of it. I wonder if I've been watching this fly fisherman guy. He goes up into Idaho in these little small streams, and he doesn't have any cell coverage up there. But what he does every day, he has this one GPS device, and he just sends out a signal to where he is at that moment. So maybe there can be something like that people can buy that you have separately, and you just click it, it sends out a signal somewhere and says where you're at. And it gives you the actual GPS coordinates of the device. Am I just talking to a brick wall? I haven't seen one comment referring back to what I'm talking about. Hey, let me just turn around. Hey, brick wall, you got the... Yeah. Now, because an app needs to be connected to the cell towers. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you can change it without service. And it wouldn't, and even if you could change it on your phone, service would be needed, obviously, to connect to your phone for somebody else to hear the changed message. Yeah. Now, this guy just had this little device. He would check in, let his wife, send out a signal of his last known location. Maybe it even sends like an email to somebody when he's fishing, so at least people know where he's at. I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I think it'd be a great thing to do if you are somewhere near service, and as you're going, you keep updating. Okay, and then a mile later you update, I just crossed this street and this one, that's my new message. Okay, this one. And then when the phone dies, at least somebody... But here's the thing, is once you've changed the message and your phone dies, you have to stay relatively close to where you put that last message, because let's say nobody tries calling your phone for 4 hours after you changed the message and you kept walking. Well, you're 20 miles away at that point. See what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. See. Hope you feel better there, Robin. Let's see. Yes. So I knew phone was going to go out completely, so I quickly changed my message so people would know. Huh? I don't even know how to change the message. So that's the part that people would have to know first. I mean, how often do people change their phone voice message? I guess some people do. I don't remember changing it in like a decade. I don't even remember changing it. No, they can't. This whole thing about when your phone's turned off and it pings towers, that's totally bogus, If your phone is turned off and there's no power coming from it, it's not pinging cell towers. I don't know where that came from, Yeah, I guess you are missing something, because if you turn off your phone, like power it off where it's not on, it's not out there pinging. Well, let me look it up. Hold on, because there might be certain situations, I guess, certain phones or something. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, so one person typed in, can a cell phone be pinged if the power is off? And then the answer is no. This is not Hollywood. It can't be located when off. It can be remotely turned on. It can't be remotely turned on. However, generally the phone will send a power down final handshake to the network. Okay. Okay, and then it says NSA can reportedly track even when they're turned off. Okay, so let's see what that one says. The NSA has a diverse range of surveillance capabilities, from monitoring Google Maps On Monday, this is back on 2013, the Washington Post published a story focusing on how massively the NSA has grown since 9/11. Let's see. Okay, the agency can also track down the location of a cell phone even if the handset is turned off, according to a new report. Okay, so according to a new report. Let's hear an official or some... I need to see it, okay? This is like a, you know, a conspiracy type magazine that I'm looking at. Let's see, so 2021, can my phone be tracked with location services switched off? I thought of someone tracking you. Every move is scary. All smartphones on the market today come with built-in location services that could be used to reveal location data, but what if you don't want to share your location data with anyone? If you disable location services on your phone, is it still possible to be tracked? Turning off location services on your phone is supposed to make it untraceable, but this is not always the case, as there are other ways that your device can be tracked. Cell carrier towers. I don't know. I'll have to. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'll have to go look it up and come up with something. See what the real answer is. It seems like if you turned off location data and powered off your phone, I can't imagine how it would ping a tower when there's actually no juice on it. Although it seems like there has to be some minimal power in there because the clock keeps running. Although I don't know if that's some kind of different supply. You know, it still knows. Although the time a lot of times is connected to the internet. So when it pings a tower, like it sends time information. Yeah, anyways. Alright, anyways, I'm going to do the... let's get on to some of this case over here. Alright. But just like every other night, everybody, I want to see if this scrolling thing at the bottom, none of these names I even recognize. So I don't know. Nobody's sent in a super chat during the show, but I want to see, you know, let's see if there's Beholder's name there, but she didn't send anything today. So I'm not sure how this is working. You know, does it over time put real people in there? I don't know. But anyways, we've got to... we're still continuing on. Let's see, we're on the 19th of the month, and we are doing pretty well for January for the income being brought in to help support the channel and the charities at the end of the month. We've already sent in 1,000 so far. All right, so I'm going to start on, let's see, I think I'm going to do this Glenda Sirmans one. This is 19... We have two different cases. One's from 1969, and one was sent to me by, I think, Living It. Sent it to me yesterday. I was like, oh, it looks kind of interesting, and so I went and got all the different articles. Looked like it was, and then there was, it was pretty interesting because there was a couple letters to the editors written by family members in that one, which is basically like having an interview with them. And then I was trying to do this jar here. Oh, there it is, way down there. And I changed it to actual stuff related to our channel that floats out of the sky, but I don't know how well that works either. No idea. Man, you guys are so quiet. Like there's nobody typing. All right, so we're going to go back in time. This actually happened on, I think she went missing on November 28th in Knoxville, Tennessee, I believe. So we'll get started on it. Oh, it looks like there was a page 1. Let me go try to find that again. Hold on. I know what newspaper, where that's located, so hold on. Might take a minute. Glenda Sirmans. Is that AN? Yeah, it looks like AN. Let's see if that worked. Did that work? Did it replace anything? I'm going to get rid of that ticker if it doesn't work. I thought maybe people would like it to see their name on there. Thank you, Sax and Fox Nanny. This is 1969 and in Tennessee. Right, there you go. Does anything get put in the jar there? Yeah, look at that. Something got thrown in that jar over there. That was sweet. So those are the little, the elk with Chewbacca that was bouncing around. Thanks, Kathy Friday Maker and Mary Hayes. Alright, so this is, let me see if I can find the first page of that one. I didn't notice that. So this is 12/4. Or is it 12/4 December? There, yeah, right there, I think. All right. Doom, 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 doom.
Love to Blue and Chloe.
Maybe that's it. And then, let's see, called the... Yeah, I think that's probably it. Glenda had called it... There you go. I think that's the first part. So I'll just use this right here. Well, let me clip it out of here. Not sure how I missed that, but you can't start off with the second page of an article. Come on, jeez. Sermons. All right, let me rename this one to B. And this one would be A. Okay, and there we go. Thanks, you're Gypsy. Hey, what's going on with these crazy, like, comments that come in from random, these weird, like, Russian accounts? All right, here we go. So search expands for Sirmans girl. All right, so it says a widespread search continued today for 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. G.C. Sirmans, Virtue Road. And I think this is in, it's going to be in Tennessee, Knoxville, I think. So let me see where that is. On Virtue Road, Knoxville. That makes sense. I don't see it right there, so we're gonna have to. We'll get that a little bit later. But Virtue Road has been missing since Saturday from. Okay, it's West Knox County, so. I don't know where, let's see, Virtue Road, Knox County. There we go. It's in Farragut, Tennessee. Oh, who's this one? Yeah. Oh yeah, I've already looked stuff up on this one. Hold on. Let me move that. Put that into the Sirmans case. Alright, so this is a house that the father had lived at one time. But I don't know exactly if that's right where it was. I mean, it's right in the same area, but here's Virtue Road over here. So it's definitely the, this is the Virtue Road. It's right near where the father lived. So let me put Virtue Road in there. Nearly 100 National Guardsmen and other volunteers tramped in near the freezing weather. Oh, by the way, I don't mean to, I got sort of sidetracked on that earlier comment. I did want to say that Brianna Kupfers, the suspect in that case, was arrested today. So you remember this case from yesterday? This guy, they caught him. All right, I want to put that out there before I forget it. But Brianna Kupfer, alleged killer.
Appliances, big screen TV.
Sean Smith caught after pedestrian calls 911. So man, that pedestrian, I don't know if they win the, they actual get the $250,000, but that'd be pretty crazy.
Cozy comforts. Bring home something new from Rent-A-Center for less. Right now, it's easier than ever. Start any new agreement for just $5.
I'll get right back to that, but I just wanted to let you guys know that. Wow, look at all those different looks he has. That's crazy. Okay. Well, anyways, he was arrested, and that's really all I wanted to say. I wanted to get back to the story, but I kind of figured he'd be arrested pretty quick when you got, $250,000 in an area where some of the people might be able to use $250,000, and he's pretty recognizable, and they put that out right away, and boom, he's busted. Yeah. What a psycho, man. Hope he never gets out of prison. All right, nearly 100 National Guardsmen and other volunteers tramped in near freezing weather through open pastures, undergrowth, and wooded areas, and scouted areas of the Turkey Creek embayment of Fort Loudon Lake by boat. So where's that? Oh, there you go. So that creek is probably that goes right along this road right here, I would imagine. Yeah, let's do the... Is there any weather where the trees are gone? It's pretty good. Maybe that one. Yeah, it looks like it goes through there. There it is, Little Turkey Creek. So this is right in the area. Thanks, Dreaming Girl. Don't lament what has yet to be sent. Wolfie wolf means. I don't know what that means. All right, but thank you.
Oh dear freak daddy grey baby, don't lament what has yet to be sent. Wolfie wolf means I love you blue Chloe all freaks too. Underscore basic blue colon underscore basic Chloe underscore basic
Awesome.
Generous.
Alright, so they were looking through open pastures, undergrowth, and wooded areas, and scouted areas of the Turkey Creek embayment of Fort Loudon Lake by boat. While the area was being searched, Knox County detectives were making inquiries in nearby Loudon County for any possible leads. Officers were checking reports of a blue and white car being sent along Evans Drive near the time the girl disappeared. Now, and there's Evans Drive right there. So right here. Okay. Reports of a blue and white car being seen along Evans Drive near the time the girl disappeared. Circulars with the missing girl's picture and descriptions were being distributed in Lenoir City, Oak Ridge, and other towns in the area. Shy but happy, Glenda, described by teachers and friends as a shy but happy girl, was last seen Saturday afternoon when she left her home to walk to her friend's home a mile away. Mrs. J.F. Abishahim, Glenda's English teacher at Farragut Elementary School, said the girl was going to work on an English scrapbook at the home of a classmate, Tegwin Pierce, daughter of Dr. Okay, so let's try to find. Let me look at this. Hold on. A lot of times, murdered family members move from their home, but other people stay for a long time. So let me just see if I can see where this house is. That'd be Thomas. It's probably not alive, I'm sure, but Thomas D. P-Y-R-S-E, and this would be in Farragut, Tennessee. It's going to be 100 and something. Yeah, that's... yeah, it doesn't even exist in there. P-R-Y... Did I do that right? No, I did it wrong. P-R-Y-S-E. Okay, Thomas D. That's the junior right there. And then there's the dad. We might even get an answer here. If it's anywhere near Evans Road or anything like that, that's going to be it. So here we go. Are you guys still there? Wow, look at that. This one says this address is 1982 to 2021. And that's going to be right here. So that's, I have a feeling that's got to be the same home. So this is the P-R-Y-S-E home. Yeah, but you know, talk about what's going on here. I guess there isn't enough information yet. All right. So we got that one. Oh, and there's another 1250. Yeah, so there's another address from, it says 2008 on the same road. And so it could be this one. So either way, it's right around in here. So it's one of those two, I guess. And oh, there's actually another one here. God. This one says 2000. I guess they loved Evans Road for some reason. And so then there's an apartment in this one. Road, Suite 1001. So there's two of them there, one here. That's Evans Drive. Yeah. So I think that's got to be it. One of those two makes sense, right? Oh, man. Glenda, described by teachers as friends. Okay, we were right here. So she was going to do a scrapbook at the home of a classmate, Tegwin Price, daughter of Dr. and Mrs. Thomas D. Price, on Evans Drive. Glenda had called the Price just about to get to that one. Girl to see if it would be all right for her to come over. She left home at about 3:45 p.m. About 5 p.m., Ted called the Sirmans home to find out why Glenda had not arrived, so she never made it to her friend's house. Mrs. Sirman drove the route to Pierce's home, called neighbors to see if they had seen her daughter, and then called Mr. Sirmans at KUB, where he is a water plant technician. Mr. Sirmans called the Knox County Sheriff's Office, and by 9 p.m., the Knox County Volunteer Rescue Squad began a search of the area. The road is heavily traveled. Sunday, the Loudon County Rescue Squad, a volunteer emergency group called REACT, and dozens of persons from the area joined the search. The sparsely settled but generally open-fielded area between the two homes was combed, but no trace was found. Mr. Sirmans said Virtue Road is well traveled, but mostly by persons from Lenore City and fishermen. There are two places on Evans Drive between its intersection with Virtue and the Price home where persons would not be observed for several hundred yards. The two houses at those points are set back from the road. Let's see what it looked like, and that's 1992. That was there, and so is that one. And let's see how far a mile is. So I wonder if they lived on Virtue Road at the time. That was 1992. A lot different now, though. Mr. Sirmans said Virtue Road is well traveled, but mostly by persons from Lenore City. Let's see. There are two places on Evans Drive between its intersection with Virtue and the Price home where persons would not be observed for several hundred yards. Volunteer rescue units from Knox and Loudon counties rejoined the search today along with several Knoxville Reserve Police and Junior Police. Some civilian volunteers also took part. Search parties of 3 or 4 men were given small areas to check. When they finished, they radioed headquarters, which was set up in a barn on the Price farm. The teams were then given another area to search. A highway patrol helicopter was used to direct the search. The UT Diving Club was to begin diving this afternoon in Dixie Lee Quarry Pond for the missing girl. Mr. Sirmans, who has been tramping the area day and night since his daughter disappeared, fears that someone picked Glenda up. Parents in the area who once thought nothing of their children being a mile from home have become concerned when their children get out of their sight. One parent called the school to request that the bus driver make special side trips to bring her child home when the child had previously walked home from school. The request was granted. Mrs. Abashahim described the missing girl as a perfect lady who never gave any trouble. She was shy, almost too timid. She was a good student and concerned about her grades. She had a stable personality and always seemed happy. Glenda's close friend, Gilda Hodge, and Vera Reed, both 8th graders, as was Glenda, described her as a shy and kind of hard to get to know. But once she got to know you, she would tell you things, Gilda said. She said once Glenda had talked about running away, but that was last summer, and nothing had been said since then. Glenda liked to ride horses, but didn't have any other hobbies, her friend said. I talked to her Saturday about the English assignment, and she didn't act like anything was wrong, Gilda said. County Detective Jeff... I think every kid, by the way, at one point has said, I'm going to run away. Right. County Detective Jeff Holfenbarger said Glenda was not the type of girl to be lured into a stranger's car. A minister from a church in the area said he once had stopped to ask her if she wanted a ride home, and she refused. The detective said he was told. All right, let's see where this is. Okay, is that the one right there? There we go. So, okay, there's a quarry. I think I can kind of see this here. How far up there? So they got that road right there. And then there's the quarry pond. Okay, so this is the pond that they searched right here. Quarry pond. I'm just looking at this map. So let me show you what I'm doing here. So this is a map in the paper. There's Kingston, like Parkway, I guess. I don't know. PK. And then this is the Evans Road is right there. And so just looking at where Evans is, Evans was right there. And then here's the, well, it's Highway 11, but it's the same one based on the shape of it, I can tell. And then that's Virtue Road. And just down Virtue Road, they have a quarry pond. They probably built a golf course on there. And then her home is between the quarry pond and this road. So her home would have been at one point right over here, it looks like, and now it's a golf course. I mean, let's see how long ago. Maybe back in 1990, 2003. It was just being built in 2002. So if we're lucky, we might be able to see a home in that area on this one. That's, wow, they're still building the damn thing. That's crazy. Or actually, maybe that's just burned out that time of year. I don't know, but let's see. So 92, it was already there, so that's unfortunate. Yeah. So her home was somewhere around in here, like right there-ish. They don't have her on the turn there. So that used to be a quarry, and it looks like it's about halfway, well, more like right around in this area. So maybe her home was, let's just say her home, let me get rid of that. I'll just switch this over to Glenda's home here. And we'll just put that right off to the side, somewhere right around in here. It's pretty close. And then let's see, is it about a mile to this house from there? Boom, boom, boom. And if I stopped it there, it is 0.93. So I have a feeling that maybe that's the home, let's say. Right there, okay? So let's pretend that that's the home and measure that one. And I bet you that one's going to be close. 1, 2, because usually the way they measure this stuff is by driving it, and then they put it in the paper. And the measurement of that is, believe it or not, everybody, exactly 1.0 miles. Isn't that funny when sometimes you get those weird numbers like that that are perfect? I'm not saying I measured it perfect. I needed to go along the road there, but it's close. I'm pretty sure then that that's not the home here. It's this one. And yeah, that description of, there's a couple spots where you couldn't see anything. I mean, it might have been a long, let's see what it looks like if you go down to Street View right here. And it does rise up there. I'm sure it looked totally different in I wouldn't even be surprised if it was dirt roads back then. I don't even know if that's a home anymore. It looked like there was a structure there, it seemed. Let me go back. Maybe that's not even a house. Kind of looked like there was something there, but maybe that's not even a house. Yeah, all I know is it's right in this area, based on this map here, because there's Kingston PK, Highway 11, and then Evans is right there, and 1 is her house, which is between the quarry pond and Evans, and even a little closer to Evans. So if you were going to go to the quarry pond and Evans, and then you say in the middle's right there, but it's a little closer, so somewhere right around in this area. Yeah, this is 1969. I And I wonder why they're checking that quarry. She wouldn't have walked by it. She was heading over to Price's home. So her route would have been something like this. And that's where she was intending to go. Number 1 is the map shows the home of the missing 13-year-old Glenda. Yeah, and look at right there. They have the 3 near the end of Evans, and that's exactly where I've got it right there. So that house is the right place. Okay, that's good. And then what was number 2 on there? Number 2 is the intersection of Virtue and Evans, where she was last seen. Wow, so somebody actually saw her make it to this intersection right here. And I'm going to put that right there. Last seen. So she left her home at 3:45 at about 3:45, about 5 p.m. Ted called. So, all right. So if she left her home, I would say that would probably be almost, we'll just say, let me put 3:45 up here. I don't know if that's exactly where her home was, but 3:45 p.m. left home. Don't you love the sound of this chair, everybody? Man, it just drives me crazy. 3:45 left the home. And then I would say she got here in, let's see, but that's not even a half mile, but if you're walking 4 miles an hour, let's say, or 3 miles an hour, it would take you, let's see, 30 minutes to walk 15 miles, or 1.5 miles. So that means a third of 30, like 10 minutes, so maybe like 3:55 right here. Mr. Sirmans said she definitely does not believe his daughter ran away from home, although he concedes this is a slight possibility. The girl's grandparents live in Florida and Connecticut. Knox County detectives have been checking every lead they get, but so far have not come up with anything substantial. There was no sign of a struggle anywhere along the road. Officially, Glenda is still listed only as a missing person, but most officers feel she was abducted and taken from the area. For Mr. Sirmans, his wife, and 3 other children, Pam, 14, Janelle, 9, and Steve, 6, this has been a trying week with many tears and prayers. Yep, it's an absolute nightmare. All right, then on the next day, search continues for missing girl. The search for 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans entered its 7th day today, but the massive foot search conducted yesterday was called off. The search headquarters at the Dr. Thomas R. Price Farm, crowded and bustling with activity yesterday, was quiet today with only a couple of National Guard leaders there. Yesterday, nearly 100 guardsmen and other volunteers swept the 5-quarter-mile area. Sheriff deputies blocked entrances to the area yesterday to keep curious seekers away, and groups of men searched pastures, ditches, and lakes for some sign of the missing girl. Today, the only sign of the search was a highway patrol helicopter hovering over the area. Oh yeah, need some liquid there. Several cars were parked along Virtue Road in front of the girl's 2-story frame house. So she did live on Virtue Road. To visit Mr. and Mrs. C.G. Sirmans and their 3 other children. Mr. Sirmans, who had hardly slept since his daughter disappeared and has taken an active part in the search, was put under sedation today by a doctor. Yeah, they used to do that a lot. Mrs. Sirmans, trying to remain optimistic, said, usually, I'm not just saying this, but usually it's the woman that's under the sedation. I don't know if that was some reason that they would do that. But in this case, the woman was the strong one. The guy was the one, he's freaking out, so he's under sedation. But Mrs. Sirmans, trying to remain optimistic, said she had the rest of her family just sit and wait to hear something. The phone rings frequently, but so far, there has been no good news. Meanwhile, Knox County detectives have been busy checking out all possible leads. Their activities have led into Loudon County. Spirits picked up for a short time. I thought for a moment they were going to do talk about some weird spirit box or something. Spirits picked up they didn't have cell phones and apps back then though. Picked up for a short while this morning when Polk County, Florida authorities reporting having a girl fitting Glenda's description in custody. However, that girl was later identified as being from California. Glenda has grandparents in Riverside, Florida, near Tampa. Glenda's talk last summer about running away from home were attributed to just idle
Your content rules.
Girl talk. Well, thank you. My content rules. Look at that guy. He had the alien for that one. Thank you. Your content rules. It seemed like we hit a snag. Look at that poor jar just sitting there filled with hamburgers. And several members of the UT Diving Club yesterday afternoon dived in Dixie Lee Quarry on Everett Road. So where's Everett Road? I don't even know if Everett Road's still there anymore. Yeah, could be. Oh, wait, there it kind of winds around right here. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if at one time it went over here. It's just hard to say because that's definitely where the quarry. Or what were they? Well, actually, let me go back a couple pages and check something out. What was the? Yeah, there was a quarry, right? Huh? No, you're just listening? Okay. Search continues for missing girl. The search for 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans entered its 7th day today, but the massive foot search conducted yesterday was called off. I think that's very similar to the last one. It's almost an identical article. The search for 13-year-old search headquarters. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, it's the same article, but different day. It's like 2 days later they posted the same damn article. That's pretty funny. All right, let's see if we got this one. Okay, rescue squads to look for girl. The Knoxville Volunteer Rescue Squad, which has already devoted 477 and a half man-hours to the search for 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans on Virtue Road, Concord missing from her West Knox County home since November 29th, planned to resume its search this morning. Squad Captain Costo McGee said Loudon Anderson and Roane County rescue squads will also join in the search. The Knoxville and Loudon County squads plan to scan Fort Loudon Lake. 2 boats from a Loudon squad will work north from Fort Loudon Dam, weather permitting, and et cetera, et cetera. Let's see. Reward offered. And Dr. Tom Price, dentist, whose house Glenda was walking to when she disappeared, has provided his barn as rescue headquarters. Meanwhile, the girl's father, G.C. Sirmans, has offered a $5,000 reward, which is huge for 1969. I think that's like $40,000 or so. Pooled by the family and friends for information leading to the arrest of anyone. Sheriff Bernard Wagner said deputies late yesterday were trying to determine if the girl seen riding in a car with a man last weekend could be Glenda. A mother and her son, who asked not to be identified, told officers they saw a girl fitting Glenda's description in a car on North Shore Drive near the entrance to Little Creek Sanatorium. The entrance is 6 or 8 miles from Virtue Road. The witnesses said the girl looked like pictures of Glenda, which have circulated on posters. They said she wore a coat with a fur collar fitting a description of one worn by Glenda. The driver was said to have been middle-aged and in need of a shave. A little bit like me, I guess. The witness also said the car door on the girl's side was open slightly, even though the car was moving. That's interesting. They said wore a coat with a fur collar fitting a description. The witness also said the car door on the girl's side was open slightly, even though the car was moving. The investigation of the report is still in progress and no conclusion has been reached. There we go. There must be, let me guess, right now there's a live drama show on Summer Wells going on. And everybody's over there like it's the greatest show in the history of the world. Is that true? Either that or nobody got notifications. I don't know. But we only got 194. Normally have 250 to 300 people. Yeah, there's got to be. Well, you would know, right? Because you're always checking them out. Yeah, that just sucks. But anyways, yeah, guys, I know it sucks, but every single night, to keep up what we're doing, we need to do the super chats or channel memberships and bring in the funds. Because right now, tonight, we're about, gosh, I don't know, 1/15 of a normal night. Really slow, dead. Yeah, you didn't get a notification? Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. Search teams attracted by dogs playing with pieces of clothing found the nude, mutilated body of 13-year-old. And here's the thing. I don't want anybody to help out, send in super chats that you can't afford it or anything like that. But if you can, and you want to keep us, keep on trucking, as it were, then I would appreciate it. All right. It does help out the channel, but it also helped. Over 50% of the net revenue from YouTube goes to the charities at the end of the month and during the month. I hate having to, the part of bringing it up is the shittiest part of doing YouTube. I just wish everybody kind of thought about it and remembered, and it just kept flowing and we just kept doing the show. And unfortunately, it's not like that. You always have to, bring it up if you want to meet the goals and do it. And, I spent a lot of hours getting the shows together. And, it gets a little bit frustrating when there's literally, 180 people watching. And it's actually an interesting case. It's like But I don't know. It just doesn't fit some of the shit that people like to go over, I guess. I don't know. Thanks, Stephen Kellogg. That's your first one ever? Well, thank you.
My first
Thanks, Tony Lee. You've been here forever. I think you've sent one in before, Stephen. Yeah. All right, Dr. W.B. Harris. And here's the thing, everybody. When I do my show, It's not sensationalistic or anything like that. And that's the thing, is when people are out there screaming and creating sensationalism, they do that a lot because that's usually when people start super chatting because, hey, they're not really excited. I'm not doing it that way. I'm actually just covering true crime and trying to cover cases that nobody's talked about for years and decades almost. And I'm not going to be sensationalistic. I'm not going to be really cool and exciting to, you know. And so I'm just doing my show. And I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what that means. Sack and Fox Nanny. I have no idea what that means. Hey, thank you, Tawny Lee and Lee D and No Place Like Home. So Dr. W.B. Harris, Loudon County coroner, said the girls. So she was found right here. Dogs attract searchers to body of girl 13. So this is on the 15th. So it was another. It took 2 weeks to find her body, basically. Thank you, Linda Howe, as in Linda Mold and Howe, the cattle mutilations and crop circles. I'm gonna have to have fake drama in the middle of the show. Yeah. Well, thanks, buddy. Yeah, I mean, I put a lot of effort into a show. I don't just go live and start screaming and staring and just reading the chat and that's my show. I mean, what's the point of that? Like, you know, yeah. I don't know, man. It's I hate it. You know, what about it, Jennifer? What about it? Why don't you go check it out somewhere? Thanks, Lori Fisher. What happened, Zozo? What happened? When you said, oh no, what does that mean? What happened? No, what do you mean? I have a good show too, Sack and Fox Nanny. But hey, go everyone, if you want to go check that one out, go ahead. I'm going to do this one. All right, thanks for the advertising over there. That's good stuff. It's no better than my show. I can tell you that right now.
Ocean wave, ocean wave, ocean.
Yeah, I know, GFW. I'm reading it right here. I just read it to you on the air there. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to compare stuff, but it's weird when people go, oh, there's a good show over here. Well, then go watch the damn thing, okay? I'm doing this one. You know, it's like telling people, what the hell's on my glasses over here?
Here every night I am able. Love the show.
What's going on my glasses? It's like, yeah, I mean, I would just go, if you think it's so great over there, go check it out. And I'm just going to do mine. And if you want to be here, that's great. But you know, it's wild stuff. That wasn't my question. I just read the title up here. It says, Dogs Attract Searchers to Body of Girl 13. Yeah. So anyways, search teams attracted by dogs playing with pieces of clothing found the nude, mutilated body of 13-year-old Glenda Marie Sirmans Sunday on a wooded hillside. Dr. W.B. Harris, Loudon County coroner, said the girl's throat had been slashed. I mean, so here's this girl. I mean, how many times are we going to have? We have so many stories like this. It's just ridiculous. All she's doing is going over to a friend's house to make a scrapbook. And on the walk to making the scrapbook, some barbarian shows up. And, you know, and this is the result here. However, the girl's body was so badly mutilated, apparently by animals, so in that 2-week period, Harris could not determine if the girl had been sexually molested. And she had her throat slashed. Glenda's the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Glenn C. Sirmans set out to walk to a friend's home over 2 weeks ago to work on a school project. The slim 8th grader, described by friends as shy but happy, never arrived. Authorities had speculated the girl was abducted as she walked along Knox County Road. The girl's clothing was scattered by dogs all about the area. Searchers went to the area after a dog brought one of... Oh, man. I guess I don't... Oh, wait, there it is. There's more down there. I thought it was done. Brought one of her shoes to a house about 200 yards from where the body was found. By the way, I made a call regarding the case yesterday. You know, the girl with the beheaded 8 or 10-year-old girl in St. Louis. So I made a call, and then I was talking to Misty, and apparently, I mean, we already knew this because I already talked to the guy and told you guys that people were already working on the case, and what's weird is once the DNA is uploaded to GEDmatch, it seems like, and you get stuck, then it would sort of become open and let other people try to figure out the lead. I don't know. Guess we'll see how that goes, but for now I'm not going to. He might call me back, but I'll just see where it all plays out. I don't know how to really explain it. No, this girl didn't run away at all. She was murdered. And her parents didn't think she ran away, and nobody thought she ran away. Every kid at one point says, I'm going to run away. And they never really run away, and they never do. And the parents know. The father said, I guess it's possible, but it's not, right? So Glenda, daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Glenda Sirmans, set out to walk to a friend's home over 2 weeks ago to work on a school project. The slim 8th grader, described by friends as shy but happy, never arrived. Authorities had speculated the girl was abducted as she walked along the Knox County Road. Thanks, Brenda R. The girl's clothing was scattered by dogs all about the area. Searchers went to the area after a dog brought one of the shoes to a house about 200 yards from where the body was found. Oh, it's okay, Brenda. Thank you. All right, and then another article. Farragut pupil's body discovered in Loudon County. So that's her right there, Glenda Sirmans. There's really no better picture than that out there. It's kind of sad. What's interesting about this is a really poor picture, but even on this poor picture, the highlight on her eyes is, you can see it, oddly. The mystery ended, but another unfolded at almost the same moment yesterday with the discovery of the body of Glenda Sirmans, 13, missing 2 weeks. Loudon County Chief Deputy Fred Shepard found the nude body of Farragut School 8th grader about 400 yards off a side road in northeast Loudon County, about 6.3 miles from where she was last seen. God, was he looking for her? Man. Shreds of clothing were scattered about a 35-foot radius. Loudon County Medical Examiner W.B. Harrison ruled the death murder. The Tennessee Bureau of Criminal Identification was called into the case. Knox County Chief Deputy Ross Sims said several suspects were to be picked up for questioning today. What was the motive for the slaying? Was the young girl molested or raped? Did the killer know Glenda? Does he live in the Knoxville area? Detectives could only shake their heads. Glenda was reported missing November 29th by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. G.C. Sirmans, on Virtue Road, Concord. She was last seen that day at the corner of Virtue and Evans on a mile walk to study her school lessons with a friend. A massive search by rescue squads, National Guardsmen, and police had turned up nothing. Early yesterday afternoon, Miss Barbara McGimsey, 31, of Lakeland Road of the Martell section of Loudon County, was returning home from church when she noticed a dog near her house carrying a shoe in its mouth. Alright, so of Lakeland Road in Martell section. Let's go over there. So Lakeland Drive. Loudon County Sheriff. Let me see if I can find her. Hold on. I'm gonna go use been verified again. That's turned into be a really useful tool. I mean, it costs money, but whatever. That's what the super chats and everything help me out with all the different subscriptions that I have. No, it's just their last name. God, really? Loudon County Sheriff Freeman Russell was office noticed at Knox County Sheriff Office and rescue squads. Okay, there it is. Barbara, that's up here. Sorry, I was looking at the lower portion. Barbara McGimsey. And this is in, let's say Tennessee. Can't be more than one of those. Yeah, there it is. Says she's 83 now, which kind of makes sense. She could have been like 25 or 30 years old at the time. And actually 31, there you go. 31, so that's her. And let's see what we've got. And go to the address history. There's only one. Wouldn't that be weird? Now that says 2005. So that can't be the right one. Let me just put that in there and see what happens. Alright, let me just, I'll put that there, and if it's anywhere near there, then, I mean, it sort of, let me see how many miles it is. It looks more than, yeah, that's not it. Yeah, it's 20 something miles. Darn it. Shoot. Alright, so let's try to base it on this. Lakeland Road in Martell section of Loudon County. So, Lakeland Road, Martell. Loudon County. Okay, this is going to be it. So here's Lakeland Drive. It can go all the way around, starting right there. So I'll just put a pin somewhere around in here. Lakeland Drive. And that makes sense. Although, how many miles is that? So they said 6 miles. But again, they measure it driving, so that's 3, and then, you know, it actually goes further down. So that's like 3.72, but driving, who knows how long that would take. And Lakeland Drive keeps going until right there. That's where it ends, so I guess we'll have to check that out. Lakeland Road in Martell section of Loudon County was returning home from church when she noticed a dog near her house carrying a shoe in his mouth. The shoe contained a human foot. Wow. And part of a leg. Man, that's crazy. Miss McGimsey called Loudon County Sheriff Freeman Russell. His office notified the Knox County Sheriff's Office and rescue squads from 2 counties. An hour and 20 minutes later, at 1:40 p.m., Glenda's body was found about 150 yards from Miss McGimsey's house. The area is generally known as Lover's Lane. Glenda's body was found in what deputies said was a remarkable state of preservation, causing speculation that she may not have been dead, but 4 days at the most. Nah, but it's also December and cold outside. This means that she may have been held captive for at least a week. The girl's throat had been slashed by a knife or similar instrument. And then why would her leg already be coming apart where a dog could grab it? I don't know about that. I think she'd been there for a while. And she'd been stabbed in the neck, chest, and left shoulder. The pathologist at Loudon County Memorial Hospital, after a preliminary examination of the remains, said the mutilation appeared, and we got another map coming up here, appeared to be the work of dogs, where there was no evidence. There was no evidence, he said, of a knife having been used to dismember the lower portion of the girl's body. Officers said the girl's, I guess she was pretty small and tiny though, so. Officers said the girl's fingernails were badly broken, a sign she struggled with her assailant. About 50 feet from where Glenda was found, investigators found her fur collar coat, which was turned inside out, Knox County Detective John Maples said. Mr. Sirmans has offered a $5,000 reward. Nearby were shreds of torn materials, which deputies said may have been used to tie her hands. Bits of clothing were also strewn around the area. Wads of hair lay in 2 or 3 places. Deputies surmised the body had been dragged the 50 feet away from this area by animals because of the condition of the body. Dr. Harrison said it may be impossible to ascertain if the girl was raped. Detective Maples said, I think she really put up a struggle, judging from the hair and blood at the scene. He added that he believes Glenda was definitely killed in the area where she was found, and he speculated that more than one person may have been involved in the killing, but he did not elaborate. He added that he believed Glenda was definitely killed in the area. Okay. A roadway off Lakeland Road, the killer's apparent route of access to the wooded death scene indicates that Glenda walked or was dragged about 400 yards before being killed. So let's see what this is wanting us to see up here. That's where she was found, right there. Okay. So let's see if we can find where the road. Okay, I can see exactly what they have in here. So that's Lakeland Road. It curves around and down, and then I think they're talking about this portion right here. So is it Harvey Road? Right on the other side here? Yeah, there's Harvey Road. And then it doesn't really do what they're saying there. And then it goes to Lakeland Drive. And then it curves around, and then that point right there. Oh, and then right in here, they kind of have her, yeah, like right in this area. No, they have it right here though. So yeah, this water comes into right there, and then yeah, it's almost right in this spot right here is where they say she was found. Alright, so what I'm looking at is, let me show you so on this map right here, I mean it's hard to do it with when it's on the screen, but maybe if I move this over here like this and put this over here and then try to make this generally similar to. Alright, you can kind of see the shapes here, right? So here, right up there, the curve around, so that'd be right. Well, it's hard. Let me do that again. Hold on. So that's Harvey. So the road would start right there. Yeah, and then I'm going to turn it so it matches kind of how they have it. Yeah. So it comes around. Well, you can see the lake is a big part of this. So there's a little finger right there, and that comes up in here, and then this part right there is right here, I think. Although it was weird a minute ago, it looked exactly the same. Let me just look again. Yeah, no, I think that's right. Fort Loudon Lake. It's right in there. Let me go back in time. I'm going to go to 19, right in this time frame. And see if that looks a little better, like this. It's hard to, it makes it hard because their lake isn't drawn exactly right. I will figure it out in a minute. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. It looked right when I did it, and then now it doesn't look right. So it goes like that, right off of here, and then it goes down. But then it goes back over here a little bit, and then it has like this. But over on this thing over here, it looks like it curls back. But it also matches this area pretty good inside of here, and then that little fork maybe coming up into there. Anyway, but it's also a drawing, so then it makes it hard. But anyways, I think that's generally where the body was, right in that area. That's the lake. Yeah. Now it's got to be more down on this little island here. Thanks, Colin Pendleton. County, yeah, so it's not too bad we don't have the county lines anymore. They got rid of it a long time ago. Okay, and they have north like that, but they have it turned. There you go. That's about right. See how they have north pointing at that angle? So when I hit the R button in here, that's north-south oriented, but if I rotate it about like that, there we go. So we have it going around, then around. You know, actually, I think it's over here, now that I look at it. I think that here, they just didn't do a very good drawing. But this area here is what they were using, and that's how you can get 300 yards from the road. So I'm going to say, like, that's one of the roads right there, and right around, you know, somewhere, let's just say, like, out in here. There we go. All right. So you see what I'm looking at right there? Let me show you the... Right here is this spot. And that makes more sense now. Because now you can walk 300 yards. Let me see what happens if you go down to here. Yeah, probably dirt road back in the day. And there's Lake Drive. What did they say? 400 yards or so? And she would have walked through the woods. Yeah, so maybe somewhere right around in there. Thank you, Sarita. Alright. Detective Maple said, I think she really put up a struggle, judging from the hair and blood at the scene. He added that he believes Glenda was definitely killed in the area where she was found, a roadway off Lakeland Road. The killer apparently route of access to the wooded area. Dragged about 400 yards. The body was taken to University Hospital here for preliminary examination and was transferred to Blount Memorial Hospital. Hey, thanks, Blind Squirrel. Did you catch your nut today? Oh, did I? Deputies today were investigating the possibility that Glenda's death is in some way connected with the death of Nashville girl who had also been missing since November 29th. So this is the other case. Remember the other night? It was the girl that was missing on the same day. And that was Kathy Jones. The possibility that the death of Kathy Jones, 12, whose nude body was found in a wooded area near her home December 2nd, was connected with Glenda's disappearance had at first been dismissed because of the closeness of the timing and the distance involved. Glenda vanished just 5 hours before the Nashville girl was last seen as she left home to go to a skating rink near her home. You remember that? However, upon finding Glenda's body, just by inches, huh? Deputies feel that similarities in the two cases are too strong to dismiss as coincidental. Kathy had been disrobed, strangled, and left in a secluded area. Her hands had been tied behind her back. Evidence also indicates Glenda's hands may have been tied. Also entering the picture was the disappearance Saturday night of a 5-year-old Chattanooga girl who police were there feel was the victim of a kidnapper or child molester. Chattanooga detective said Christy Lynn Slater. So what happened to her? Christy Lynn Slater. And let's see. Yeah, I don't see it in there. No, it's spelled totally different than the way I did it, so hold on. Khristie. That's probably gonna... Maybe it's Kri. There it is. It's just Kri. The paper had CH. Freckled-faced 5-year-old Christy Lynn Slater disappeared from a shopping mall in Chattanooga, Tennessee on Saturday, December 13th, 1969. She was shopping with her mother at J.C. Penney's when, according to the mother, I turned to look at some merchandise, and when I turned back, she was gone. The FBI initiated a nationwide hunt for the young girl on Monday evening. This is on websleuths. On Monday evening, December 15th, 1969, Christy was found wandering around. Let's see. On the Monday evening, December 15th, Christy was found wandering around a department store in Atlanta, Georgia suburb. The only information she could give about her ordeal was that she was taken by a white male driving a car a little bigger than Daddy's, a domestic mid-sized station wagon. This is all the information. Oh, that's interesting. So somebody did abduct her, but set her free in Georgia. Yeah, so she was saying her a little bigger than Daddy's vehicle. Yeah. Driving a car a little bigger than Daddy's vehicle. Huh. Well, that's bizarre. So they found the girl that's in this article that we're doing right here. The girl who was brown eyes and hip-length red hair was there on a shopping trip with her mother and disappeared about 8 p.m. and estimated 900 person. Okay, so that one. This is a decent map here. It gives us a general location. That's actually a crime scene photo there. A careful eye on Loudon County Chief Deputy Fred Shepard gleaned another bit of clothing at the murder scene. He bends over to push aside leaves. There's a person right there. You can barely make him out. Leaves for a closer look. Behind him, from left, are Bill Brown, Loudon County Rescue Squad member, and so forth. So there you go. She has been found. Throat was cut, and she stabbed multiple times. And all she was doing was walking from her home down the street and was supposed to get to her friend's house, Miss Price, and she never made it. And then Miss Price called over there at 5 o'clock and said, "Where is she?" And that's when they realized she was missing. Because at about 3:55-ish, she was seen at this intersection right here. And she left her home at 3:45. I'm just assuming, around 4 o'clock, right in this area. And something happened to her. Did she already start walking down this road, though? And then somebody got her there. And then they took her. And it makes you wonder, too. I mean, it's such a rural area. There's some people that knew that she was on that walk, right? And would be alone. Killer in Sirmans case may be a loner. This is December 16th. Footprints near where 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans' body was found Sunday in Loudon County lead officers to believe her killer was a loner, Knox County Chief Deputy Sims said today. He said officers found faint footprints under leaves, actually more impressions than clear-cut prints of two persons. He said some prints were smaller, and these are believed to be Glenda's, while the larger ones may be those of persons who slashed her throat. Meanwhile, of the person, not persons. Meanwhile, rewards offered for information leading to an arrest and conviction have reached $10,500. Agents of the Tennessee Bureau of Criminal Investigation were questioning a number of persons. Services were held today at Virtue Cumberland Presbyterian Church with Reverend Gerald Myers officiating. Glenda's father, G.C. Sirmans, has already offered $5,000 reward. William L. Berry, assistant to the governor, Buford Ellington, said Loudon Attorney General Sanders called today requesting that the governor post a $5,000 reward. Mayor Leonard Rogers said today that the city of Knoxville does not have any money available for a reward. Mr. Sims said Loudon County authorities are inclined to think Glenda was killed at the place where her body was found, about 400 yards off of a side road, 6.3 miles from where she was last seen walking to a friend's house. You know what we should do? Let's just let's see how accurate this is right here. So this is I'm gonna go put these up here. Directions 2. Boom. Just use coordinates up here. And then she was last seen right here. Come on, Jesus. Google. Oh man, that's brutal. How do I get to that? There we go. There's the route that the killer would have taken. And let's see what the distance on that is. Yeah, shit. Ah, man, I lost it on there. I have to try it again. Oh, man. Is this it? Okay, that's the best one. So delete. Delete. And delete. Okay. So now we're up here and we can hit properties, and that is, look at that, 6.14. God, man, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to argue with that. Very close. 6.13 is what they have. So, you know, who knows? Is it right over here or something like that? But that is the, you know, that sounds like we're right in the right spot because it's 6.13 miles. 6.3 is what they have in the paper. So really close to here, somewhere right around in there. All right. Mr. Cartwright said he remembered seeing black patent leather shoes on in a, let me see, what are we talking about here? Mr. Sims said Loudon County authorities are inclined to think Glenda was killed at the place where her body was found. Let me save this before I lose it. There we go. Body was found about 400 yards off the side road, 6.3 miles from where she was last seen. There was some evidence of a struggle in the leaves, and her clothing was found in that general area, Mr. Sims pointed out. Knox and Loudon County officers yesterday pulled their information on the case, and several teams of officers fanned out to run down leads. Knox officers are investigating a report from a young girl standing outside a car and leaning through the open car door over the front seat on Turkey Creek Road Bridge at the intersection of Virtue Road. Craig Cartwright, 23, Martell Road, who works at the printing department at Wait TV, said he had seen the car and a man described as tall and in his mid-40s, about 10 feet behind the car walking toward it. Knox officers investigating a report from a young man who said he saw a young girl standing outside a car and leaning through the open car door over the front seat on Turkey Creek Road Bridge at the intersection of Virtue Road. Wow, that's right. It's right up in here. That's Virtue Road, and let me go down to the ground over here. Well, we know that she walked from somewhere right up around in here, so let's see where that bridge is. I'm not sure why they're saying the intersection. Ooh, jeez, what's going on, man? This thing, it froze up on me. Ah, there we go. Wow. Anybody else get dizzy? I did. So this is the walk she went on. Albeit 1969, I'm sure it looked quite a bit different. So she was walking this way. I mean, I guess it's possible that was another area and there was another girl that was... So there's the creek right there. Yeah, I used to love playing in creeks like that when I was a kid. See, that's Evans Road right there. Where the hell would that be? I mean, there's a bridge right there, but that's south of where she would have turned. That's Turkey. Well, that is Turkey Creek Road. So it does say that, right? Didn't it? Report of a young man who said he saw a young girl standing outside a car leaning through the open car door over the front seat on Turkey Creek Road Bridge at the intersection of Virtue. So that's right there. So that was this one. This is the sighting of a... So there's a sighting right here of a girl leaning into car. So that's the spot right there. So I guess it's possible that she walked a little extra. I mean, she's shy though. Why would she go anywhere near somebody? He said he was driving to a service station sometime after 3:30. So who knows exactly what time that was. On the day Glenda disappeared, he said he didn't think anything about it at the time. But when he heard the news early Monday morning that the girl was missing, I remembered what I had seen. He said he told Mr. Sirmans about what he had seen that day. Yesterday, Knox County officers talked to him about the incident. Officers also re-questioned Arthur Fresley, Old Stage Road, who apparently was the last person except the killer to see Glenda alive. He was painting a house near the intersection of Virtue Road and Evans Road and saw her at the crossroads. Mr. Presley said he left shortly afterwards to go home and drove up Evans Drive along the route Glenda would have walked to Dr. Thomas D. Price's home. He did not see anything. He did not see anything, he told officers. Well, it's interesting that he was right there and then he drove that way. Yeah. Meanwhile, other officers in Knox and Loudon counties were to question other persons about the case. Tracks covered in the past 2 weeks were to be checked again. Yesterday afternoon, deputies and TBI agents searched the area where the girl's body was found. TBI Director Bud Hopton said today that he didn't think there was any connection between the Sirmans girl death and the slaying of 12-year-old Nashville girl who disappeared the same day and whose body was found December 2nd. He said he based this opinion on reports from his agents working on the case here and from talking to police officials in Nashville. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks, Zozo. I don't know. I feel like I'm hoping this year will be as good as last year, but maybe it won't be. You know, I think people, it's sort of, I guess what it'll turn out to is I'll have more free time and be able to do less things, but at least we'll get something done. But I try to put something together every single night. Thanks, Lee D. 75 questioned in Sirmans' death. Some 75 persons were questioned last week by Knox and Loudon County authorities and agents of the Tennessee Bureau of Criminal Investigation in connection with the murder of 13-year-old Glenda Sirmans, whose body was found last Sunday in East Loudon County. So far, no real good leads have turned up. Thanks, Dan Carr. Some officials believe she was abducted, held captive for a time, murdered, and then dumped. Others believe she was taken to the spot where her body was found and murdered the same day. Well, they could have figured it out maybe by checking the contents of her stomach. Thanks, Linda Howell. I think we're at 45% right now of a normal night. The area in which the knife was found is being graded and paved, Sheriff Freeman said. There was a knife found, huh? Loudon Sheriff Freeman Russell said a knife found about 1.5 miles from where the body was found has been sent to the TBI for test. The area in which the knife was found is being graded and paved. A preliminary autopsy report showed Glenda had been dead at least 48 hours and probably had not been raped.
Ocean wave, alien, flying saucer.
Thank you, Linda Howell. As in Linda Molden Howell, the cattle mutilations. Thank you, Dan Carr. She was believed to have been kidnapped November 29th while on her way to work on a school project at the home of her friend. So they're at $11,000 in rewards. It's like $80,000 back then. Now we're almost at 2 hours. Child beaters sought in sermon slang. Let's see. A witness has told county detectives of seeing 2 men mistreating a girl on Kingston Pike December 7th, midway between the time Glenda Sirmans disappeared on a West Knox County road. Chief Deputy Ross Sims reported the witness said the girl was in a car between the 2 men and one of the men struck the girl across the face. Chief Sims said the time also, thank you, Tamara, as in tomorrow, said with an Australian accent. Chief Sims said the time also fits the autopsy report, which showed the girl had been dead at least 48 hours when her body was found. Glenda apparently was abducted while she walked along Virtue Road to a friend's house November 29th. Her body was found December 13th in East Loudon County. Thank you, Sack and Fox Nanny. Deputies during the weekend questioned 2 men in connection with the latest development. Chief Sims said both men are from Virtue Road. Wow, so they live on Virtue Road and have lengthy police records. Deputies have also dismissed the connection of a 23-year-old former Eastern State psychiatric hospital patient.
Hit that. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
Thank
We love
you.
you. Heart. Great aka Freak Daddy.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Sermon file sent to Sullivan. Knox County Chief Deputy Ross Sims said a file on the Glenda Sirmans murder case, this is 1970, but it's only 3 or 4 months later, has been sent to Sullivan County authorities who have charged a man there in similar case. Fred J. Bowen, 25, was indicted Monday on a charge of murdering a 12-year-old Sullivan County girl as she walked home from school. The Sirmans girl disappeared in West Knox County while walking a mile to a friend's home on November 29th. Her mutilated body was found some 2 weeks later in a wooded section of East Loudon County, 6 miles away. And then another one in May of 1970. A Maryland man who has been charged with 5 kidnapping, including that of Chattanooga girl, has been eliminated as a suspect in the slaying of Glenda Marie Sirmans. Agents said Kyle Winton, Cheryl 31, Dickerson, Maryland, could not have been in Tennessee at the time of the girl's disappearance. And then there was a 1989 article, and really it was about how they're, well, there you go. I mean, that's interesting. So that, I think, see, what happened was Virtue Road property takes a rap from nearby residents. Okay, and then down here it said Alderman Eddie Ford voiced his disapproval of the land purchase and voted against it, saying he didn't feel residents would feel safe riding bikes in that area. Pockets along Virtue Road are desolate in appearance and somewhat remote. There are those who also remember a 13-year-old girl, Glenda Marie Sirmans, who was kidnapped November 29, 1969, as she walked along Virtue Road where she lived. She was on the way to a friend's house on Evans Road, about a mile away. The Farragut student was last seen alive at the intersection of Virtue and Evans Roads by a house painter who was working nearby. The child's body was found 2 weeks later in northeast Loudon County in the Martell community, about 6.3 miles from where she was last seen. Authorities concluded she may have been held captive for as long as a week before she was killed. Although at least 2 men were arrested, no one was ever tried for her murder. According to Chief of Detectives John Maples, the case has remained unsolved, said Art Miller, spokesman for the Knox County Sheriff Department. It was one of the cases assigned to Detective James F. Smith, who died a year ago of cancer. No information has come in on it in recent years, and therefore no Knox County detective has expended any man hours on the case during that period. The teenager's parents, Mr. and Mrs. G.C. Sirmans, 2 sisters, and a brother moved away from Farragut about 6 months later and settled in West Knoxville. But he, I don't know, because he still has an address listed on was it Evans Road? Harkins lived in the Farragut community and went to school with Glenda Sirmans. Although she was about 2 years older, what happened then doesn't mean this area is unsafe because of what happened to her. Harkins added that the whole community suffered from what happened to Glenda Sirmans. Those of us who were children at the time were certainly affected by it, she recalled, and it was an unfortunate, tragic thing to have happened, but it could have happened anywhere. There hasn't been any other incident like it in that area that I know of. Farragut officials see the opportunity to purchase 6.5 acres of land along Virtue Road for $37,500. Others aren't so sure. One proposed use of 4 acres of the land, the east side of Virtue, would be for a bicycle trail. That prospect, I wonder if that's where that golf course is. I don't think that still exists right there. But that's a picture of it from back then, 1980 something. And I think that's about it, really. I mean, there's a websleuths, just tiny write-up on it. Didn't have anywhere near what we just did. But isn't that sad? I mean, that's all there is. There's no, you just have this girl that was walking down the road here, Glenda Sirmans, and right in this area she was seen. There was somebody that said they saw a girl lean into a car right here. Maybe it was a guy saying, "Hey, do you want to come to my car? I've got a little dog in there." An actual catfishing type thing. And then maybe she walked from this intersection to there, and then amazingly, look at the route that's 6.3 miles, goes right past that now. So she walks there, and then boom, he takes her and drives all the way down, winds around, and then her body's found dead right over there. So that actually seems like that might be a possibility of something that actually happened. That she was called down. Maybe the guy was standing here. Hey, can you help me out? I got this dog. He's like really, who the hell knows what it was? But she came over to the car, and I don't know. It's a little bit weird that it's here. Had that bridge been up here, I would really think that that was it. However, she had to walk past where she needed to turn, and so it's a little odd how she would have gotten here, what ruse that would have been. I don't know. But hey, I guess it's Apple time now, everybody. I'm going to get rid of that, whatever that, the ticker symbol thing. It doesn't seem to work. And I need an apple. I've lost energy. There we go. I'm gonna go get one. Looks exactly the same, other than it doesn't have the stem. There you go. And this is, oh look, I got the little tip jar thing right there with our own custom. I'm gonna make like pictures of your faces, like maybe I'll put moderators as the coins that get tossed into the jar. You talking to me? Yeah. So this is the point where you guys can help out eat the apple with super chats. And oh, look at that. There he is. Look at Sarita's just went in there and it went. I know what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna put apples in the jar. And why not, man? Have like little apples that fall out. Okay, I got it. All right, so there's one. Okay, we'll get the salmon a bite. Oh, and that's Dreaming Girl, and thanks, Billy Juliana. And Lee D. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. I like that. All right. Charisma. Thank you. Yeah, I like the words that come across and then they drop like something into that jar. It was cool. Sacred Turtle and Jamesy. Thank you. Wow. All right, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make like little apples and poor Blue. I guess we're just going to stare at the apple the rest of the night. Yeah, they're good. Everyone should get by Honey Crisp. Right now we're about 60% of a normal night. Yeah. I don't know what misophonia means. What are you guys even talking about? Thank you, Sister Sirius, New York. Wow, you guys can't even see the dogs until we get through this apple. Oh well. Some of these we're going to have to do half bites on. I don't know how we get through these, but thanks, Shogun Love. Thank you, Melissa Burns. There we go. And there they are. The stars of the show. There you go. Oh, was it going to fall on... Wouldn't that be weird if the dogs tried to chase that? Thank you, Della Johnson. What do you guys think happened in this one? I mean, there doesn't seem to be even any, like, oh wow. There doesn't seem to be any, what do you call it? Like, there's no suspects or any sort of likely anything. And as we know from the Kathy case, it doesn't seem... Well, I think it was a sexual motive, yeah. For sure. Looked like they think maybe her hands were tied behind her. Thank you guys for helping me get through that apple. Yeah. Got a little fur coat on. Yeah, it was in the winter time. And now that you think about it, it would be getting almost dark at around 4 o'clock. That's late in the evening in the winter. This sighting here seems like it's pretty important. I mean, what are the odds? See, he said it was after 3:30, and this was around 4. Well, 4 o'clock is after 3:30, right? And it's not too far off of that. And it's right there, and it's actually on the route that a person, if they were just driving straight there, would have taken. Wow, so that's how it went, right there. What am I looking at? Oh, you can't see it. Wow. Yeah, there's like a... What was I looking at here? Yeah, right here. It's underneath the railroad tracks. So that's where the car would go. That's probably been there that whole time. That's just harsh. They found the shoe, then they knew that that was her shoe, and then they were going to be looking for a body because the dog brought the shoe back, and they already knew what kind of shoe she had, and it was not far away. I mean, 6 miles isn't too much. It's not as far as the crow flies, though. Let's see. So if you go from right there, yeah, that's only 4.4 miles. But when you drive it, 6.3-ish. Yeah, I've thought of doing a show just for the dogs, you know, a channel, you know, Blue and Chloe, you know. I don't know if I have time though. I guess it's kind of easy. Just could put them in a room with a laptop and just stream it, and they just play around. And maybe there's 3 or 4 different cameras, and you can watch them all. And who knows? How many hours? What is this? 2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah. See, the thing is, this other story, the Brownstown mystery fire, I think it would take, you know, much longer than an hour, and I don't want to waste content on a slow night like this. So what we could do, maybe what we'll do tonight, and I'll have to take that off the thumbnail, maybe we could do a newspapers.com stint. You know, we look up whatever you want to look up on there, and you know, super chats get the priority. But you have to think of some phrase, not a case that you're really interested in, and then you want me to stumble upon it. All right, so I'm gonna do, I don't know if Live in It's still here, but I'm gonna do the Brownstown mystery fire tomorrow. That'll be the main one. Yeah, well, they say that she was dragged 400 yards, but why would you have to? She's so tiny. Why would you need to drag her? She was a really tiny person. All right. Yeah, that fire one looks pretty interesting, though. Yeah, it's like there's a fire, and then there's 3 people, but only 2 were found, and they've never found the other one. So we'll have to go through that. So anyways, we got newspapers.com on here. And you have to think of a phrase that would lead to... And not just... I'm getting tired of, like, the goofy shit. Like, I want to find something that's... actually interesting, you know, something out there that, like, there's so many crazy cases out there, but you have to send in a super chat to have it looked up. There you go. In an attempt to make up the difference from how far we're behind. Maybe an animal dragged her. Yeah, maybe. They said that she was kind of, her body parts were pulled apart by dogs, but I don't know. I'm not really sure. I mean, I think dogs probably played a role at some point, obviously, because it showed up with a foot and part of a leg. A shoe with the foot in it and part of the leg. Yeah, except if she was dead, wouldn't it be easier just to carry her? Maybe she was struggling and fighting and they had to drag her back there. But it's interesting, too, because if it was in the middle of the day, wouldn't somebody have heard her if she was screaming? But maybe it was, he did keep her for a little bit of time, and it was late at night. I can only see it if it's surrounded by color. It's the super chat. There we go. Weather related. What? No, it has to be something that you. Those aren't murders. Weather related deaths. Come on, Tony Lee. You have to type in. Give me a search phrase that you would show up in an article. You get what I'm saying, Tony Lee? I mean, there's millions of weather-related deaths. I mean, you got lightning. Can't see any of yours, Zozo. Can't see any of them.
Weather-related deaths.
Can't see any of those. Weather-related deaths. Interesting. Murder in bad weather to make it look like. How about like staged murder in hurricane? Is that something? Thanks, Kit Kat. No, don't see it. Stage murder in bad weather. Okay. Plans. Yeah, I don't see anything that just pops out. Alright, how about severed body parts found? Yeah, those are the ones that always end up with crazy stuff. See, Sack and Fox Nanny wanted to go. She already knows about the Girl Scout murders. We've already covered that on the channel.
Severed body parts found.
Severed body parts found. How about we'll do like 1965 to 1975, because there's going to be a lot of those.
Girl Scouts rule.
Remains found in used car lot. That might be one. Alright, let's see. One body was found in the stair hall. What's this one? Ottawa, Ontario. Bound with stockings locked in a bedroom. Well, here's a crazy one.
Remains found in used car lot. I'll have to get better at this. Sorry.
Wait, is this from... This looks like 8 nurses. Oh, yeah, this is the Chicago one. Yeah, this is the... who was the killer in this one? Richard Speck or something like that. I think that's what this was. One body was found in an upstairs hallway, and their bodies in each of 2 upstairs bedrooms. Miss Ferris' body with her throat slashed and a knife found in her chest was found at the hallway. Maybe I should do this one sometime. Yeah, that's what I said, Regina. Erie father charged with slaying of 5. Donald Chisholm, 32, has been charged with 5 counts of murder in the shooting deaths of his estranged wife, their 3 children, and his wife's stepfather, police said. The victims were found yesterday morning in their brick duplex home. Chisholm was taken into custody for questioning a short while later after he had ran for help to a nearby grocery, saying he'd found bodies. Killed were Athena Chisholm in her mid-30s, her children Paul 12, David 9, and Anna Marie 6, and her stepfather Paul Tolis in his late 70s. It was a mess, the worst I've seen in 25 years as a police officer. One of the kids had 6 or 7 bullets in him. The daughter had 4, mostly they were shot in the head and body. Gemelli said all the victims except Mrs. Chisholm were found in night clothes and that the mother was killed when she arrived home after 7 a.m. from a restaurant. Thank you, Kit Kat, and no place like home. Yeah, well, that's going to lead to, what's his face? The guy that dressed up like a clown. My brain is just mush. All bodies except Paul's were found in their bedroom. Police believe Paul got up from his bed after being shot and staggered to the living room. Well, who killed him? Oh, the father. Yeah. Alright, I gotta scroll up now. Where were we? We're at severed body parts found. I don't know why that... Well, how did severed body parts found show up on the one I just read? Alright, and then we have Hey, Vivian. And then we have Girl Scouts killed. Which we all know will lead to there's a few cases out. I don't know if I have the right years though. Yeah. Oh, that's a bus accident. Yeah, chartered bus. Lightning. Bus again. Yeah, well, I think you need something different. Girl Scouts murdered is what you're looking for. There we go. Brownie, Girl Scouts murdered. This is in New Jersey, 1973. Joan D'Alessandro, a 7-year-old Brownie Girl Scout, left home Thursday to sell cookies down the street and never returned. Joan was killed that same night after being beaten and sexually abused, authorities said Sunday. They charged Joseph McGowan, a bachelor teacher, with strangling Joan. Her nude body was found Sunday behind a rock off of a highway that runs through Harriman State Park. Joan left her home less than half a block from McGowan's Thursday evening to sell the Girl Scout cookies. She was not seen alive again. You know, those are the ones I just want to, like, pummel somebody's face, you know. You know, you have this little girl that all she wants to do is sell some cookies and try to raise some money, and some just absolute, you know, I don't even know what you call them. They're not even human beings. They're just freaking monsters, you know. They had looked for her for 4 days. That's brutal. Yeah, that's just... That's the same one. Murdered by a teacher. Jeez, are you kidding me? What's this one? Missing Girl Scout 9 found murdered. This is a different story. Wait, did I just see? Hey! Oh, man. Quietly Frozen! Got us over the goal. Incredibly. Thank you.
Had to close YouTube. Come back, and last thing I saw was an apple. How about death by apple? Hand over mouth. Hand over mouth. Hand over mouth.
Okay, we'll try that one a little bit. So we did Girl Scouts killed. Let's see. Trimble, who disappeared more than a month ago while delivering Girl Scout cookies to the home of a neighbor, was found slain Easter Sunday in a garage 200 yards east of her home. Metro Police Chief Joe Casey said the motive for the murder appeared to be robbery, and there was no indication the 9-year-old child was sexually assaulted. Marcia would have been 10 on Good Friday. Earlier this week, her mother had said she hoped for a miracle. Casey said the girl had a half-inch gash in her forehead, but later told a news conference she was apparently strangled and the cut on her head had nothing to do with her death. He also said it was possible that that she may not have been dead for more than 10 to 15 days, indicating her killer may have kept her hostage for as long as 3 weeks. Wow. What's going on with that stuff? Young Marcia was carrying... Well, what happened to her? Marcia Trimble. Is that something that's out there? Yeah, look at that. Murder of Marcia Trimble.
Anthony stabbed to death in the French Quarter in the 80s.
So indictment of Jerome Barrett. So this is also another Tennessee one. God, what's going on over there, man? Right around that same time frame, too, 1975. Was a 9-year-old Girl Scout who disappeared on February 25th, 1975, while delivering Girl Scout cookies. In 2008, Jerome Sidney Barrett, not the person they had pursued in 1970s, was charged with the assault and murder of Marcia Trimble after DNA evidence recovered from her remains linked him to the crime, so probably out in CODIS. Barrett had been arrested just days after Trimble's disappearance on suspicion of sexual assault of a local university student and was still in jail when Trimble's body was found. Despite this and his convictions for attacks on other women and children, police had not investigated him in relation to Trimble's murder. Wow, that's insane. But it's crazy how you stumble on those things. All right, and then we're going to try Billy. We'll get to Quietly Frozen's here in a minute. Hey, if we find one that killed by apple, I'm going to be shocked. Quietly Frozen, I'm telling you. If that shows up, man, I'm going to have to send you a mug or something. Yeah, the apple was just on a minute ago. All right, so Billy Juliana was remains found in car lot. All right, that's gonna. I'm sure that's got something out there. Well, that's not really... Let's see. I think it would be something in the paper would be body found in car parked in lot or something like that. No, there's one right there. Woman's body found in car parked on lot. I mean, that almost sounds exactly what I just said, right? I mean, a 40-year-old waitress was found dead Thursday. This is 1965, Pennsylvania. A 40-year-old waitress was found dead Thursday in a parked car in the Queenstown Shopping Center. Prince George's County Police said that apparently she had been slain. The woman was identified as Alice C. Castle. So let's see. Murder of Alice C. Cassell. Is that right? 2 S's and just 1 L. No. Police Lieutenant Richard A. Pearson said she was separated from her husband, Harry S. Castle. Oh, it's Castle. Shit. No, I had that right. So that's probably what happened. Of Queenstown area. The body was discovered by the owner of the car, Granville H. Jacobs, 67. Jacobs told police he had left the car unlocked in the shopping center parking lot Wednesday. Oh, that's crazy. So there was just, her body was just found in a car in the lot and did not return to it until morning. Pearson said Miss Castle's fully clothed body was found in the front seat of the car. Well, what happened to her? Well, anyways, there we go, Billy Juliana, the mayor. We found one related to what you were wondering. All right, so, and then we've got cannibal serial killer. Well, there's a lot of them that come to mind. You know what I learned from this though is you guys have some sick minds, you know. I'm doing screen grabs. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, Gacy was the one I was thinking. I'm doing screen grabs on those slow super chat nights. Well, you don't want me to look at this craziness right here. Yeah, I think we all do. I tell you what, if law enforcement ever had to look at my computer, they could pin almost any case on me because it would be all these things that I look up, you know, and all the stories and everything. I mean, it's wild, you know. Look how many times he typed in murder of this, murder of that. Look at that. He looked up, you know, it's just, jeez, that's insane. Cannibal serial killer. Let's go with the first one on the list. Frightening number of serial murders worries Justice Department. Where's the word cannibal on there? Well, somehow... Usually they only give you the page when... I think I have to put like and or something in there. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of it doesn't have the word cannibal in it. Let's see. Serial killer eats body parts. See, like I just had to type that in. Serial killers confound police and scientists. That was in Seattle. I don't know. Convicted killer of 8 found sane. Oh wait, wow. I saw the word in there. Edmund, I was thinking we might come up with Edmund Kemper, you know, because there he is. Edmund Emil Kemper III, who said he acted out of homicidal, cannibalistic, and sexual fantasies in the killing of 8 women, has been found sane and guilty of first-degree murder. Yeah. We know. But don't forget, he did find religion right at the last minute All right. Well, we got one for you there. Okay. So now let me go on to the next one here. If we get the one with the apple, I'm sending a mug. So now we got a bodies found buried under house. Well, that's going to be Gacy, right? Bodies found buried under house. See, I want you guys to think of ones that, you know, because you're trying to lead me to your guy. Here we go. The remains of 5 persons have been found in a suburban Chicago home, and investigators expect to find more. Sheriff investigators Saturday began ripping off the floor of a house near Des Plaines, Illinois, seeking the bodies of as many as 16 murder victims. Assistant State Attorney Terry Sullivan said 3 bodies were found Saturday, buried under 4-foot-high crawl space Friday, a body found buried under the crawl space, and another was found buried under a detached garage behind John Gacy's one-story home. There we go. See? It led right to who I said it was going to in the very first article. That's 78. Well, let's see this one. This is 70. This is 19. No, that's 78. That's him. 78. No, 72 here. Let's see what this one. 2 of 5 suspects in Stockton murder are transferred to Dual. Let's see. Delaney and Maria T. Alonzo, 21, of Culver City, was arrested Friday night, 24 hours before Mrs. Willett's body was found buried under a house at 720 West Flora Street. Well, there you go. We found one other one. All right, now we have dead body found in tent. I mean, I'm just laughing at it. Like, you're trying to lead me. First you said that, yeah, we covered the one in 1960, remember, or 59 or whatever, the one that was solved. Remember, she was strangled in the tent when her roommate, or tent mate, said she was sick, and then she was murdered, and then DNA led to the solving of it. I think it was in Colorado. Let me add, I'm going to put 55 there now, and then we're going to say, well, there's going to be 1 million dead bodies found in tent, right? I mean, that's a one area of the camp was designated as the hospital. He continued, we'd go into the wards and remove the pile of dead bodies in a tent. Oh, that's something else. Let's see. There, that's the one. It's actually, after a while, you kind of know how to look for something. Body found in tent near Arley Lake. County officials are investigating the death of a person whose body was reportedly found in a tent near Arley Saturday. Yeah, who knows what that one is. Could be anything. I mean, a lot of bodies are just found in tents. Well, give it a shot. What's the next one? Are we on to the apple death now? All right, here we go. We've got the quietly frozen, how to close you. Oh wait, how did they close YouTube? And then at the end it says, how about death by apple? Killed by an apple. That's how the sentence would have shown up somewhere. And, you know, I'm going to make this go no time frame. Because I bet you in the 1800s somebody was... let's see. Okay, I don't know what this is. 1907. What do we got here? You're gonna have to send me your email, Quietly Frozen, if there's a freaking Juan Espinoza, an expert something marksman. Oh, while attempting to shoot an apple from the head of a man at a circus here, missed and killed the man. I'm not gonna. I don't think that that's quite in that one. How about, let's see, man chokes, chokes to death on apple. Oh, well, there's one right there. 1954, Joseph Folsom, 15-month-old son of, that's sad, choked to death on a piece of apple here Wednesday morning. Yeah, that's shitty. Imagine just sort of like you're just eating an apple. Yeah. What's this one? Choked to death on a John Holsworth, 46-year-old bruiser, died before aid could be summoned while he was seated at the table in his home at 622 Riddle Road last night. A piece of an apple, which he was eating, lodged in his throat, causing him to choke to death. Man, that's crazy. Well, I think it's a mug time for you, Quietly Frozen. There actually was one in here. Let's see. I think it's all. There's going to be tons of these. You know, choking to death on an apple. How about apple kills a man? I don't know, but trying to find a way, like, you know, somebody throws an apple and hits somebody in the head or something. Well, there you go. You're gonna have to send me. I'll have to send you a mug, Quietly Frozen. Yeah. Now, maybe we should do a show though on the, you know, the Girl Scout thing. I wonder if there's some kind of a, you know, unsolved ones. Maybe there's a serial killer out there somewhere during a certain time frame. Seemed like there was a ton of them. Oh yeah? Huh. Jeez. I've eaten apple. Is that what happened to me? TTGO Tracy? When I was eating those apple seeds? My God. Wait, what does this one say? Oh, well, we got a legit one here. Hold on a second. June 19th, Julie's. Oh, wow. What an unfortunate last name. I'm not, you know, I don't mean to. Okay. You guys can read it for yourself. I don't even think I don't even feel like I can say that last name. Can you see it? Julius, and then, man, whew, wow. On the farm of Theodore Gear near Napa, died suddenly this morning. Had eaten a quantity of green apples yesterday afternoon, and soon after was taken violently ill with pains in his stomach. Huh. No, I know you would read it. Okay, it's right there. Julius. I mean, if you had that last name now as a kid, you wouldn't make it through high school. Okay? Yeah, you wouldn't make it through high school. You get what I'm saying? I'm not even, that doesn't even look like a legit last name, does it? Oh, you can see it now. Yeah, that would be bad. So, God. You know, the other name for Richard is... Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's what it says, TTGO Tracy. Can you believe that? Yeah, it's like I think you would immediately remove that as your last name as an adult. Yeah. Okay, so you think it's going to actually have that sentence. Let's see. All right, Sack and Fox Nanny. Murdered. Did I skip one, though? I might have to get up here. Hold on. There was one. After Quietly Frozen, there was NASA engineer stabbed to death in the French Quarter in 1980. Yeah, well, that one exists, right? We're trying to find ones that are... See, this is the way this works, everybody. Blind Squirrel is you give I'll let you type one in, but you do a search just for some random thing that might happen, not a case that you know about, and you want me to find that one. Okay? It's almost oddly specific, Stephen Kellogg, isn't it? I mean, my God. A guy named John Smith who was killed on a Tuesday wearing blue jeans and a checkered shirt. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's and it was at 5 o'clock on December 27th, 1969. What if that exists, what I just said? That case, there is one out there. All right, I'm going to just cut and paste what you typed in. All right. So here we go. And if it doesn't come up with anything, and no, it doesn't. So I just typed in NASA engineer stab, and let's see. Well, maybe because it says Texas. GNP up. No, that's not it. 7 U.S. servicemen killed in separate Saudi incidents. No, that's not it. Well, I gave it a shot, Blind Squirrel. Gave it a shot. Is it really Girl Scout cookie time? Ugh, those are so good. You know what my favorite cookies are chocolate chip cookies, right? But I also like Milano mints. Those are good. I can just eat that whole bag, you know. Body found when home was... What's that again? When home was remodeled. How about body found in remodeled... Oh, wait, okay. Body found while remodeling home. I think that's what you mean, right? I think that's more a possibility of a sentence there. And if not, let me go back to what you did. No. Body found while... Yep, didn't work.
It's the house!
Yeah, Thin Mints are good. Alright, what did you got for another attempt? Blind Squirrel. Uh-oh. Man chokes on a hot dog? Jeez. Careful eating those apples. Yeah. Eye drop, you believe that it can kill somebody. Yeah, but Quietly Frozen, don't forget to send me your address. I'm going to send you a We Are Freaks mug for actually having a death caused by an apple. Yeah, but see, here's the thing. When you type in, you guys got to think about how a newspaper is. So, for example, like what Blind Squirrel just typed in, cops who committed mass murder. That's sort of like this general topic thing. But an article doesn't ever word anything like that unless it's a piece on cops who committed mass murder. You know, it doesn't... what you're trying to find, like, for example, if I typed in... let's see. You know, something like dismembered body found in culvert or something. You know, that's pretty specific, but that might actually exist somewhere. And it'll be a weird story. You know, and there we go, right? Oh, there was one right there. I just saw it. Hold on. Yeah, right there. In a press release, the Nebraska Attorney General Office said 41-year-old Kubik's dismembered body was found in a culvert in a rural Cedar County 4 days after he was reported missing. Okay, you got that one. And then you got this one here. Yeah, but they don't word it like that. You don't say, hey, John Smith, the cop, commits mass murder. See, that's not how they word it. Dismembered body parts found in a culvert near the Smoky Park Bridge apparently were dumped there within the past week. Investigators took DNA tests to tell them if the remains matched those found in the French Broad River. This is in North Carolina. I mean, it just goes on and on here. Well, here's another one. Oh, that's the same one. Kubik. YouTube personality tortures listeners with apple eating. Is that me? Here, I'll do it again. Here we go. How about that, Melissa? You like that? Girl Scouts killed an... Yeah, we covered that on the show, Sack and Fox Natty, but thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we actually did this one, I believe. 3 Girl Scouts killed Oklahoma. Maniac. Yeah, I did that one. If I haven't, I remember doing this Girl Scout one in Oklahoma. Excuse me. Does it really torture you, Melissa Burns? I'm going to keep doing it then, just for you. Why does that torture you, Melissa? Doesn't seem to bother anybody else as much. No thanks. Billy Juliana. That one has no chance. Unless you found a sentence somewhere and grabbed that. To be a pot lid? You mean a toilet lid? Is that what you're saying? Oh my god. Well, don't watch, you guys, because I'm going to keep doing the Apple sound effects. So if you're so triggered, if you're one of the the actual Karens of the world out there, oh wow, look at that, a Karen actually said it bothered her, then just don't watch, okay? Because I'm going to keep doing the Apple sound effect, and I'm going to keep doing it for a long time, and it's going to be something that's always going to bother you. So I would just go watch some drama channel somewhere. It's weird. Right, but a pot lid. You know. I've lost it already. Yeah. Well, I don't care if it's a medical diagnosis. People that have that type of a medical diagnosis have they're, you know, yikes. I can't be, you know, that's one of those things where I can't be, I'm not going to change anything in my life because someone has that kind of a problem. That's weird, okay? Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, Melissa. Wouldn't doubt it at all. Yeah. No, it's not unreasonably angry. It's actually... Yeah, I think it's weird. If you... here's the thing. If you have that affliction, don't ever tell anybody else to not make a sound because it bothers you. You just have to deal with your own problems, okay? Because there's nobody else out there that has to control their life because you don't like a sound, okay? That's your problem, nobody else's, and you just deal with it, okay? Don't make the world revolve around you. Body found nailed to a cross. Huh, wow, that sounds... I don't have the paper that goes back 2,000 years, but... Oh, it must be a problem because you actually mentioned it. Well, no, but everything doesn't always have an explanation, Stephen. You make excuses a lot of times. I don't care if it's an actual phrase or some kind of an affliction that people... I really don't give a shit. You know, we can spend all day pretending that there's something for everybody to complain about, okay? I'm just explaining what it is. God, give me a break. God. Yeah, so I just put that one. Body found nailed to a cross. Didn't find one. Let me see if I can make this go back to year... you know what I should do is... Well, it doesn't exist, right? Like 19... or 18... How about 1700 to 1850. See if one shows up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I know, but it doesn't need to always be an explanation. Sometimes I think people are just making shit up. Like, how could this bother... Here, look at... I'm gonna... La 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 la. That's right. YouTuber found awesome for being so mean. I'm not going to look it up, Stephen. I don't care about some crazy... There's all kinds of stuff for everybody you can put out there. It's just ridiculous, okay? It's ridiculous. You know, I guess you could say that about when I... fingers on a chalkboard. Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah. No, I'm not going to do it on my own time. I'm not interested in it. You know what I'm saying? All right. So mean! I'm gonna make a rap song that has the beat is the apple crunching sound. It's gonna be a... All right, and then I'm just gonna yeah. I just don't buy into it, Stephen. I think there's people out there that just complain, and then somebody comes up with oh, it's a diagnosis. Ooh, ooh. We've got to change everything now. We've got to fix the television set so it doesn't, like, have a filter in there for the Apple sound that might come out, and we need to... Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, that must be dysphonia, or whatever the hell the term is. Zozo. You can't stand listening to your partner breathe. Murdered by a Sith. Or scythe, or whatever the hell the term is. You're kidding. Why does it matter if you hear somebody eat? I think it's just sort of a mental issue, you know? It's like not really, it doesn't really exist, you know?
Murdered by a scythe.
All right, look at it. Murdered by, like, let me move this up to 1960. Listen, nobody go out to dinner with Stephen Kellogg. Because you mess up for 1 second and you hear this little gum slapping sound. Oh my God. Hey, look at that. We got one from 1890 right here. I mean, I'd say, hey, let's go get a drink at CrimeCon if you ever showed up, Stephen, but man. And, you know, we pull out those wings and I start sucking down, the, you know, like, oh. All of a sudden, boom, get punched in the face, and then you look around. What happened? Oh, I just hate the sound of chomping on food. Yeah. Yeah, the apple wrap. Yeah, I'm going to do it. People say they don't like the... Well, look. Here we go. Here we go, Kellogg. Here we go. Listen. Mmm. Mmm. Mm. Yeah. This is therapy for you, man. All right. Work through it. Work through it with me, okay? Right now, he's punching the screen. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh, my God. I'm going to get... You know what? I'm going to do a special mukbang episode, man, where I'm just sucking down sloppy joes, you know, slurping. It's just going to be a mess, okay, as I just spit on my... it's going to be awesome, you guys. Yeah, don't chew laugh, yeah. Oh, that's right. We're gonna, and what we're gonna have is we're gonna get Stephen Kellogg's face on the screen. No, here's what we'll do is he'll call in on Zoom, and he just has to work through it. I know it's strange. It's sort of a therapy of some kind, but look at that. Murdered with a scythe actually showed up in there. But guess what year? 1890, right? A Londonderry correspondent telegraphed that a woman named Stuart, alias Woods, was found murdered near Clandy County. And where is this, by the way? This is in England. Derry on Saturday. Her head having been neatly severed with a scythe. She was a companion of a tramp named Woods, who is not to be found. That actually existed. YouTuber murdered by a member of their channel. That's mean, Sack. You mean like if I slop down... Oh, come on. You would skip that episode? Oh, come on. I think that'd be fun, Steven. An entire episode of just sloppy joes, chicken wings, licking the fingers, you know, talking with your mouth full, pieces of meat falling out of your mouth while you're talking. Oh, good times. You know, good times, everybody. Let's not kid around. And hey, look at, I'll even put the camera right on my mouth, by the way. Okay, so it's going to be right there. You won't even see my face or anything. It's just... Yeah, zooming in. Steak and... Oh, man. Is there another one? 1990. What do we got here? Involving a man who had been murdered with a scythe. All men and... Oh, this is old here. Deadly tales from fly-blown bones. Wow. They are pretty good. There has to be a...
Mukbang for a cause.
Oh, come on.
Best sandwich. Woman shrugging.
I'm sorry that you have that affliction, but you can get over it. I guarantee it. What's this story here? One September evening in 1977, a Hungarian ferry captain arrived at work to begin his night shift at 6 p.m. A few hours later, the body of a local postmaster was found brutally murdered. A post-mortem the following day at 4 p.m. revealed, this is in England too, that the man was killed with a knife, and the Hungarian police suspected it and eventually successfully prosecuted the ferry skipper. But the autopsy report also recorded that the corpse contained masses of yellowish fly eggs, and some had hatched into tiny larvae less than 1/10 of an inch long. At the trial, this finding was completely ignored. 8 years later, the case was reopened, and Hungarian entomologists were called in to explain the presence of the corpse, the presence in the corpse of the eggs and larvae of sarcophagus flies. PHAG means to eat. The coffin flies that live off decaying flesh, so it's going to be something about the time of death. The scientists concluded that there were 3 possible species of the fly that might have been present, and that none of them would have been active after 6 p.m. during a cool September evening in Hungary. They also told the court at the retrial that the eggs laid by these species of fly took between 10 and 16 hours to hatch at the temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. At cooler temperatures, the incubation period would be even longer. The conclusion was therefore straightforward. The eggs could not possibly have been laid on the day of the autopsy and must have been deposited before 6 p.m. the previous day, before the convicted man could have been on the scene. On the basis of this and other evidence, the ferry skipper was released from prison and exonerated. The case illustrates the sometimes dramatic use of entomology, the study of insects in forensic science, and phenomenon that dates back to the case of Dr. Farragut, a French doctor who performed an autopsy in 1850 on the body of a child found by a plasterer while repairing... Oh my God, this actually answers the question. Who was the one that said remodeling earlier? Was that you, Billy Giuliani? Giuliana? Giuliani. Was that you? I mean, this is weird that we stumbled upon the body found while remodeling. Who said that one earlier? Come on. Who said that one about remodeling earlier, you guys? Man, what are you guys, 30 minutes behind? Oh, that was you that said the remodeling one? Look at this. We stumbled upon at right now. Look how weird this is. So, the study of insects in forensic science, a phenomenon that dates back to the case of Dr. Farragut, or Bergeret, maybe. A French doctor performed an autopsy in 1850 on the body of a child found by a plasterer while repairing a broken mantelpiece. There you go. Oh, a Sack and Fox nanny. There you go. Dr. Bergeret is the first person recorded to have used entomology to help to solve a crime. He found that the flesh fly, Sarcophaga chimerea, and that means, so what's sarco mean? Let's see. Sarco comes from the Greek meaning flesh. There you go. So boom. So sarco means flesh, and then you go over here, and phag means to eat. So it means flesh-eating chimerea had deposited larvae during 1848, and mites had laid eggs on the dried corpse that following year. He concluded that judicial suspicion should fall on whoever occupied the house in 1848. Britain's only full-time forensic entomologist, Dr. Zach, anyway, he had told police the bones were, I'll go through this. I'm going to read this whole article. Britain's only full-time forensic entomologist, Dr. Zach Erzinklablu of the zoology department at the University of Cambridge. Look at the spelling of this last name. Erzincliou. Erzinklioğlu. I think that's pretty close, you know. The University of Cambridge likens his profession to that of an archaeologist. A forensic investigation is building up a picture of the past. We're faced with evidence of what happened, and we aim to reconstruct those events. In one case that he helped to solve, a 13-year-old girl had gone missing, and a man suspected of her murder was found to be in possession of human bones, which he had hidden under his floorboards and at various other places around the house. He had told the police the bones were for medical research, and that he had hidden them because he did not want to upset visiting friends. Dr. Erzinklioğlu cast doubt on the story by finding a small fly called Leptocara cenosa living among the bones. The presence of the fly indicated that the bones were far more sterile, as the insect typically lives in unhygienic environments. Even more damaging was the discovery that bones kept on a concrete base under the floorboards had fly larvae and mites living on them that are only found in soil. This indicated that the bones... How did we stumble upon this? Is like a cool article. This indicated that the bones had until recently been buried in a grave. As the doctor said, the police suspected that somebody wouldn't dig up something from a grave unless they had something to hide. The man was found guilty. Why would you dig it from a grave, you know? I mean, that's stupid, right? Much of the work of a forensic entomologist is to determine the date at which a corpse has died. A pathologist can do this for corpses several days or possibly weeks old, but it becomes more difficult after months and years have elapsed. The time of year, the weather, and how exposed the body is all affect the rate of decomposition and the sort of insect colonization that takes place. This is 1990, this article, actually. So way before true crime was even a thing, you know. Now it's just this huge deal out there. I mean, there's always been true crime, but I mean the phrase true crime, I don't think started until like maybe... You know what's weird? It all seems to have started during like a podcast. Wasn't it the like Syed? That one podcast? What was the name of that one? It just turned everything into became a bigger deal after that. For instance, a body exposed in the middle of the summer will soon become a skeleton, but a body concealed in an empty house in the middle of winter is more likely to dry out and become mummified before blowflies, green bottles, and blue bottles arrive on the scene. Blowflies will not lay their eggs in dried corpses because their larva needs moisture to survive. Dr. Erzing Kligliogli investigated the case of the mummified corpse of a woman that had become infested with the larva of a small moth. The camels of the insect world, because they can metabolize water in an unusual way, he said. The police had little idea when the woman had died and asked him to help. From the generations of maggot cases from the moths he discovered on the body, he estimated it to be about 3 years old, but could not on that evidence alone estimate what time of year she had died. However, he discovered several empty maggot cases of blowfly called Formia terranove, a rare fly that is always active much earlier in the summer than other blowflies. This suggested that the death occurred in May, a prediction that was subsequently, well, if there was 3 years though, couldn't have they been put there on another May, the different years? A prediction that was subsequently borne out by other evidence and was instrumental in the conviction of the murdered woman's husband. Along with careful observations, such as these, the same doctor, I'm not going to keep saying it, regularly uses meteorological records in his investigations. Temperature fluctuations are critical to the assessment of a corpse's age from the insects living in it. In determining the age of maggots, the temperature of the larval mass is vital. It is a misconception that larvae breeding at a constant temperature develop at the same rate as larvae breeding in a fluctuating temperature with a similar average value. In fact, a fluctuating temperature promotes faster development. That's interesting. A police investigation rarely rests on the outcome of an entomologist's work, but it can be pivotal in securing a conviction. In one case, a man had admitted to killing another man, but said that it was an accident. The body had been bound, buried in the concrete base underneath the floorboards of a house, but the accused had said the careful method of hiding the body was an afterthought after the body had lain for several months in summer on top of the concrete base in the void between the base and the wooden floor above. But Dr. Erzinklioglu failed to find any signs of blowflies on the body, which would have been the case had it really spent a number of months in summer in the well-ventilated void underneath the floorboards. The conclusion could only be that the body had been there during June and July, and when faced with the evidence, the accused admitted that the grave had been dug before the murder had taken place. It was a premeditated attack. Although the science of forensic entomology has been documented for less than 150 years, Dr. E believes the practice may go back 800 years to a case recorded in China involving a man who had been murdered with a scythe. All men in the locality were asked to gather in one place and bring their scythes with them. Flies collected on just one scythe, a clear indication of the culprit. There you go, everybody. That's how we got to that one. It was the murdered with a scythe. How that was in an entomology article is a little bit strange, but yeah. Yeah, that's right. It was serial, yeah. And, I think people started watching true crime, the OJ, and then Casey Anthony, Jodi Arias, all that. But it seemed like it got really big with the podcast because people felt like, hey, I can look into stuff, Nope, there you go, everybody. Well, hey, thank you. I guess maybe we can do that sometimes. It's kind of fun, actually, looking up random things. Maybe we should do something on, like Girl Scout, because I was kind of shocked that when I was looking in there was a ton of them in there. Unsolved cases, maybe. Anyways, you guys, we just hit 3 hours and 23 minutes. And you guys helped get past our nightly goal randomly. Yeah, right. Maybe you're like Dexter, Stephen. Like you kill people who have loud chewing sounds, and therefore helping society get rid of those people. There you go. Yeah, everybody has followed true crime for a long time. I mean, I watched Bill Curtis in the 80s and 90s, like all the time, right? We used to always watch Forensic Files, all those shows. I mean, everybody watches those. But never became something else. Social media is different. It allows you to, actually go out and make a difference if you do it right. Like this channel actually does make a difference, believe it or not. Even if we do eat sloppy joes and piss off the Kellogg's of the world, and we eat these Kellogg's of the world. I mean, there isn't worlds. Wow, that almost sounds like that guy in Ancient Aliens. This guy right here. Yes, that's right. The mayor, Billy Juliana. All right, you guys, here we go. So at the very beginning to Zozo pre-show. And then it was Tina Souser, Cheyenne R, and then Zozo again, Boggle Queen, Lane S, Linda Howe, as in Linda Moulden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. Sack and Fox Nanny, Kathy Freidenmaker, Mary Hayes, Your Gypsy, Dreaming Girl, Stephen Kellogg, Tawny Lee, and that was his very first super chat. Tawny Lee, Lee D, and here's how I'm going to get him to send me more super chats. So when Stephen Kellogg shows on, I'm actually, in honor of his name, I'll pull out a bowl of Kellogg's cornflakes with milk and just slurp them down, and until he sends a super chat in, I'm going to keep eating those damn things. You get what I'm saying? All right, Lee D, or Liberty as she likes to call herself. Yeah, Tawny Lee, Lee D, No Place Like Home, Linda Howell, Lori Fisher, TTGO Tracy, Tamara, and Tony Enginois, Brenda R, Colin Pendleton, Sarita, Blind Squirrel, Can Catch a Nut, Lee D, Dan Carr, Linda Howell, as in Linda Moulden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circle, Tamara, Sack and Fox Nanny, Sarita, Dreaming Girl, Billy Juliana, Lee D, Charisma, Sacred Turtle Tony, Jamsey, Sister Sirius, New York, Shogun Love, Melissa Burns, Delva Johnson, Tawny Lee, Kit Kat, Melissa Burns, who said she didn't like the sound. Severed body parts found. She typed in Vivian B, Sack and Fox Nanny, The Mayor, Billy Juliana, Kit Kat, No Place Like Home, Saxon Fox Nanny, and Quietly Frozen, who said, talked about a death by an apple, and I have to send her a mug, so she got to give me the address for actually having that out there. NASA engineer stabbed, that was Blind Squirrel, Sack and Fox Nanny, Melissa Burns, Sack and Fox Nanny, and then we've got Kit Kat, Carly Therese, Sack and Fox Nanny again, and Carly Therese, mukbang for a cause. Sloppy Joes are the best sandwich, she said. Look at Kellogg. Come on, you can do it, Kellogg. Come on, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Come on, man. You can do it, man. I have faith in you. That was loud, too. All right. Anyways, thank you guys for supporting the channel. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. And we'll do the other case with the fire, the house that burnt down with people in it. Pretty crazy one in Indiana. Like a strange story there. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. And as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And also, thanks for being so generous, everybody. Appreciate it. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
What's going on, Chloe?
And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, flag rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre. With all respect, y'all, just remember I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda, I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Alright, great.
Yeah, so let's get right back to work. Alright, everybody? Talk to you.
Detector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya, auto stretcher, even crime playing like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar, but Professor Green is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freaking nectar, and I'm always gonna be a protector. Fool deflector, interceptor, and I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his spectre with a respector.
Hey, that's pretty good, Mary Lou. You remembered that from a long time ago, huh?
Yeah, okay. That's that. Time to read and listen. That's it back with his brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flows like a harpoon daily and nightly. Would ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I back the mic like a vandal, light up the stage. I back to jump like a candle. Dance. Plus the speakers that boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, better game way, better hit bullseye, kid don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook on my DJ revolves it. Thanks, Carly. I'm a lyrical poet, my image on the scene just in case you didn't know it. My town, decorated with a bass sound. Never shake it, clothes on the ground, on my tiles like a chemical spill. Feature magic and vision and feel. Conducted and form, just a hell of a concert. You make a hype, then you want us to print it. Shake leaves in the face, like a ninja. Cut was the bridge so fast. What did you say, damn, of a wild or drug, I'll sell it by the gram. Keep my come over all the time to kick loose. Now they pass by the mic while I kick my tooth. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook, DJ revolves it. I'm on the run, the cat got my gun, right around now from the hills of fun. King and Rock, it is my name, and I know if I find what I got to say, pay until the music, 'cause I was on my hip the spot. Was bubbling and the girls was hot. The two was standing like a nose of the eye. We took every spot next to him at the bar. If the yo, you know this kid. Say I kid, man, when he big kid, say get ready. They say funny, my name's Mike D, and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the Jenny, and up the sky. Hey, look at that, yay! One time around the wrap and the flyby. Whee!
The Big Dipper? What are you talking about?
Can you see it right there, Grant? The Big Dipper, gee.
I don't know what it is, Mary Lou. I don't know what it is. Okay. Hey, thanks everybody for being here tonight.
Gosh, Grant, don't you know your stars?
Yeah, I know it's some stars. You know, I don't know all of them. But I mean, I guess I kind of can see that. Maybe there's a little. You're missing part of the handle of the Big Dipper there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Grant. I can see it myself, though. You're wrong. Okay, good night, everybody.
Oh man, here we go. Little sassy Mary Lou yet again. Hey, thanks, Darlene Brown.
Hey, look at that. Georgina said it was a Big Dipper, too.
No, she said I was the Little Dipper, okay? You're a Little Dip yourself, aren't you?
Are you cutting me down, Greg? Oh, Greg made me feel bad, everybody. Greg made me feel bad.
Why are you telling people that forget it. Never mind. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Be safe out there, everybody.
Hey, John Boy, isn't Greg mean to me all the time?
I don't think so. I think you deserve everything he ever says to you.
What do you mean, John Boy? Gee.
Hey, you guys know you're still on the air here. I haven't ended the show.
Oh, I mean, God, isn't Greg mean? Oh, forget it.
See, Mary Lou, you blew it, okay? Everybody was on your side, and then at the last minute, they all left. All right, be safe out there.
Gee.